Sweet. Well, good morning, everyone. I don't know, see everyone on Zoom. Got a few of you guys. Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about social media content and how to plan it out. I kind of was thinking that it might be beneficial to figure out what you're going to post before you're figuring out how to post it and where you're going to post it. So, I know one video, 5 places, it seems kind of intimidating, like how do you get there? But my goal today is, let's see. My goal today is for you guys to have an understanding of how to create your content. So figure out how am I going to create it? What am I going to create? And then how you're going to schedule it. So you stay organized. I don't know if everyone, has had a marketing plan for the year yet, but we're hoping you all had some time last year to plan out what you want to do this year. If you haven't, it's not too late. It's still January to figure out a marketing plan and a calendar for all your promotional stuff. But my goal is for you guys to be able to create content to put on those marketing calendars, and then further be able to use a content grid, which we'll talk about, to organize how that content is being dispersed on all your social media platforms. Because not everyone has their own marketing person to just sit there and schedule everything for them. A lot of you guys are solo agents or only have a partner in this, and you don't have a person dedicated to just doing your marketing stuff. So this is really to help you and the people who do your marketing find a better rhythm to planning out all your social media stuff, your print media. So this is not just social media. I know it's targeted towards social media content, but this can be for like your postcards, your flyers, your pop buys, anything that you're doing that's print media too, or event oriented. This is to help you guys organize all your marketing efforts in one place and kind of find a rhythm that helps you guys. So the 3 things that I'm going to be hitting on today for your content creation, any media you're using, or marketing, is we're going to first talk about content pillars, what they are. Has anyone heard of what content pillars are? Okay. Yeah, it's kind of new to me. I watched something last year that was talking about content pillars and I thought it was fascinating. So I made something up so that we're going to use as a resource today to go through those. Then we're going to figure out how we should schedule all of our media and what to use. I know we did a class, me and Tony did one about your marketing calendar, how to establish one, what to put on there. So we're going to be going through that again, but then also finding a way for you guys to put that digitally and pen and paper, because sometimes pen and paper is just a better place to start, and then transfer it to a digital marketing calendar that keeps you guys organized. And then the last thing we're going to go over today is filling out your content grid. So another new concept is a content grid. What is that? How we're going to use that to figure out, just organizing all of your content. So let's see. Oh no, you're good. Eric's messing with my Zoom. Sorry, no, I'm just kidding. Hi. All right. So first, let's go to our content pillars. So what are these? So if you guys had a sheet in front of you, and we'll send it out for people on Zoom, we'll send this paper out to you guys after class. But basically this is the idea of it is that it's the foundation of who you are and what you're going to be putting out on your social media outlets, and not just your social outlets, but your print media, what you're going to be giving to people physically, what they're going to be leaving, what you're going to be leaving at the door when you go to do a pop by, or when you go to door knock for an open house. What are you going to be leaving with them? So the content pillar, this is supposed to help establish the content you're going to be creating. So how do you create your content pillars? You got to brainstorm. You got to brainstorm topics that are applicable to you, who you are, maybe things that come up in conversations with your client and vendors. So these are 4 big topics that are going to be on your page as the pillars. So we have like educational topics, community, explore like what's local in the area, personal things, your hobbies, family, friends, something like upon those lines, and then something that's entertaining, what grabs people's attention, what's engaging that people want. So in front of you, I wanted to kind of go through these pillars. So the bottom, if you kind of think of it as a building, you have a base of who you are, your foundation of your business. And kind of what I wanted you guys to write down, and we're going to take a minute to do this. And people on Zoom, if you have pen and paper, totally do this in just bullet points, but write down who you are. What do you want people to walk away with when they hear your name? What do they want to associate you with? And like, if there's a statement, if there's like, I kind of say, what are the 5 main words you want people to walk away with when they see your social media, when they see your branding, when they think of your name, what do you want them to walk away with? And I'm going to give you guys a minute to kind of think about that. But yeah, this could also be like your goals of 2024 of like how you want to promote yourself, like who are you going to be in real estate in your branding in this year? So I'm going to give you guys a minute to just look through that, and then I'm going to share with you what I wrote down personally. And this can also be like your personal goals too. Don't forget that. Your goals of who you are as a real estate agent. I have both these on the PowerPoint, so look it up. Like,
Oh, you're right.
but I have them both integrated in my PowerPoint. So we will see. Okay, so I'll show you the next slide, which is kind of what I wrote down, but just anyone in the room or on Zoom, what are some things you guys wrote about who you are in real estate, what your goals are, what you want people to walk away with about you? Share a couple words or statements about what you want people to associate you with.
Go ahead.
Oh, anyone.
So I put 20 years tenure with John Scott, first time buyer expert,
Mhm.
5-star professional year after year. Great reputation in the industry, working for 20 years at John Scott, one of the top offices in the state.
Yeah, those are great. I mean, there are keywords in there like top, reputation, like there's strong words in there. What are some other things you guys wrote down? Sorry.
I can share. So I want to be known as a professional, a coach, a counselor. I'm an expat, so I want to,
Mhm.
bring that out as well. A helpful friend and a connector.
Yeah, helpful friend. I really like that too, because I think when you make it more relatable to, personal to people, you're a helpful friend and you're friendly real estate broker, like that's very appealing. Any other top, words? Anyone on Zoom wanna unmute? Share what they wrote?
Some
Crickets.
It's fine. I'll just pick on them later.
I'll make it. I make it easy.
Huh?
I'll make it easy. Make it simple.
Yep.
I bring expertise. That's kind of how all the branding to me is just, I simplify the process.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it over for you.
So that they don't have to do it. I think taking stress and making people confident in who you are, that you're gonna, do the process for them is what they're looking for. They're looking for someone who understands, is the expert, is the professional, friendly, and loves what they do and wants to help you in it. So that's yeah, those are great words and branding of who you are. So the next part of these pillars is these are the 4 that I was talking about. So this is who you are, what you want people to walk away with. So when you're creating your content, you want to look at each of these pillars and say, what's something educationally that I want people to walk away with that associates with me in my foundation that I can talk about. So these lines above the pillars are supposed to be kind of what you're, as you're building up your content, what things you can do from like on your educational pillar. So for example, I'm going to go to the next slide, show you guys. These are some things that I wrote down. Sorry for my handwriting, but this is ideas I wrote down. So like educationally, I would probably post a market update. Personally, I want to feature like my solds for the month, maybe a recap at the end of the month, or do for the week what I did that week, depending on how many transactions you're doing. Or if you're on a team, you'd be posting everyone's like, hey, congrats to my, our team for getting this secured this week, or whatever it is. Buyers, sellers, feature that. The latest rates, and that's educational. What is happening in the market? What is that affects both sellers and buyers? And that could be a video, that could be a post, that could be a little story, like Instagram story. Definitions of words. People don't know everything about real estate. And so when you bring up a word like, what does it mean to get an appraisal? People want to know, because that might be something they're entering into. They'll see it on your feed, and it helps define your professionalism. You're an expert and you know what you're talking about, and you're sharing your knowledge with them. Another thing is tips for buyers and sellers. What are some things that are going to be helpful for them going into the spring market? That's educational, informational, and still associates with, I'm providing exceptional services for the last 2 years. I want to make sure that that is, illustrated in all of my content, especially my educational pillar. So this next one, your entertainment. What are some things that I can be promoting on my social media page that's entertaining? This is kind of, more TikTok kind of stuff, but what's fun? What's a trendy something that you can do to post on your social media? That would be high engagement. Client success stories. Everyone loves to hear what you're doing and the people who were affected by your business in a good way. People who came away from a transaction happy, they found it easy, they found it simple, and they found that they had a professional that was reliable and got them to where they need to be. Event recaps. And I will say something about this. Not everyone does events, but everyone can attend events. And so even if it's like a networking event, show people that you're out doing stuff with other people. People like to see those little snippets of videos, and you'll get a lot of engagement from those on social media. And because they see your face and they see you're doing something, in the community. Trending styles. What's going on with interior design? What's the latest kitchen thing? What's the latest exterior landscaping trend that people are doing in their yards? It might be really weird, and you can share that. Or it might be a trending style in Europe. I don't know. Something that's just like, oh, that's interesting. Didn't know that. Never seen that before. What's a trending something about home? And I will say with those too, like, people like seeing pretty things. So if you post something or like a video of a house walkthrough that you do an open house for, people like seeing those kinds of videos. Polls, this or that. A lot of Instagram stories and Facebook stories, they'll be like, do you like this or that? You answer with a poll, or you do that on social media. You're like, oh, do you like this one or that one? It gives people something to think about, because you're prompting them to think, do I like this one or that one? They may not always respond, or they will, and they'll respond in your story. It kind of gives them something to just remember, okay, I'm associating house with Makenna because she posted that and it gave me a question and I liked that picture, whatever it is. Before and afters, like, a lot of people like to see change. They like to see transition from an investor buying a house and flipping it, and it's a totally different space. People like seeing the results of something, just as, we see, haircuts. People are like, oh, look at all his hair, it's all grown out, whatever it is. And then you swipe and it's the new haircut and they're like, oh my gosh, it looks so good, so fresh, clean cut. Just any kind of before and after, people like seeing the results. So even it doesn't have to be your flip. It can be, you go to a place and do a before and after with, friend. This is why we make connections, just for the content. So you're building up reputation and professionalism and all those things. And you have to be creative. I was thinking, just because I don't have that and that's not my property doesn't mean you can't still use that or go out and make relationships to make content. You really don't. I mean, open houses are a great example of just like making a video of like, hey, at an open house, this beautiful home. I'm not selling it, but who cares? They see a really nice house and your face is associated with showing the house. So they'll want to watch the video and see you and come visit you maybe at the open house. So make sure you feature that. And then BTS, that's behind the scenes. But anything that's like you shooting a video or you setting up for your open house or something like that,
Bloopers, I heard are really good.
Bloopers, yeah,
Like, you mess up
Aaron
some
and
of the
Leah
videos.
did one, that was a couple days ago, with our priority home lending. I just thought it was kind of funny, people kind of laugh at it, but then they
I
see
can have a handle on them.
the real, the real information. Well, people, yeah, it shows who you are, it's a little more authentic, but it's humorous, it's engaging, it's high engagement. It's entertaining when you see a little blooper, but something that's not it's more raw footage and like, oh, that's how they made the video, like, that's what you wanna share with people, that's gonna be grabbing their attention, more than maybe like the stagnant video, that you do make. So think about what's engaging, what do you get captured by? And you guys can write down these ideas too, but I do want you guys to use these pillars as a way to brainstorm your own ideas, and figure out what makes sense. And as I'm going through these, I hope you guys, are kind of getting some ideas generating, brainstorming in your own head of like what works for you and what makes sense. And then these last two that we're talking about will definitely be more personal to you. So the third pillar is explore community/community. I think it's kind of an easy one to think, we all live in an area. We're all experts in some area. We know the closest teriyaki place or the best, shopping center closest to us. Like, you're all kind of an expert in where you live because it's where you are. As much as you confess you're an expert or not, you know your area, your streets, the general area of like, oh, don't go down there, like it's a little whatever, or oh, over there's really nice. I would highly recommend a walk on that beach, whatever it is. So when I say like explore community, that's all opportunities to make content around where you're at and the places that you want to be in real estate. And by being real estate, I mean like farm to the places that you're making your face and your name known to. So another one, kind of talk about the events, just promoting yourself at events. And that can kind of go with like down on the fourth line, farmers markets. Like if you do something something about on those lines, farmers markets are great. They're community oriented. All you gotta do is a couple of videos if you want to feature at a farmers market or community event like that. Like those are great places to just set up a booth and promote yourself, be a part of the community that you're farming to. I say coffee shops, like there can be like generally coffee shops, restaurants, like anything food or small antique shop oriented, just featuring, hey guys, this is my favorite antique shop down here in Seattle. They have great stuff. I love finding their stuff because I use some of the things that I find to stage our homes with. That's a great way to say like, oh, come check out this antique shop that I use to stage my homes with. You're associating personal with the, personal real estate stuff with something you enjoy doing and promoting a business. So now you have another partner, right? You got another relationship that you've just built with someone. So, I mean, it might not be the coffee shop and it might not be the antique shop, but find something in your community or somewhere that you go a lot, that you have relationships with, that that you use, that you can help promote them to help promote you. It's a win-win because you're giving content to people and getting content for free and gaining so much out of it. So many relationships too, out of that too. Contractors, your vendors, any people that you use for your housework or just those general networking relationships. Even if you've never sold a house and you go to these networking events and meet people, you could be like, hey, can I shoot a video with you sharing the top 3 things people should look for coming into the spring market on their homes before they're going to sell it. You don't have to be selling a home or have never sold a home. You could just be having someone come in that you met at a networking event and share on a video the top whatever things that they need for the home. Because that makes you look like you're sharing knowledge with a professional to people about real estate, even if you don't even have anything going on. You don't have to, you just have to tell people that you do understand and you are the expert and that you have people who are reliable, can do that work. I kind of talk about farmers market, but community service, just finding events. Like we did one with Josh a couple of years ago, like the beautify Bonnie Lake. You just go out, you get with a group of the city and then you beautify Bonnie Lake. We went around and did like bark. We filled bark in front of a school, but hey, we filled bark and got to post it, and then people gave it a like because they see, oh, they're doing good in the community, and oh, hey, that's right, there's a school right down from my house. That's cool that they were there filling bark in my community. Like that's cool. So people are going to be more engaged in that.
Yeah,
All-
I've seen a couple people do like a beach cleanup, like
Yeah.
for trash. I've seen people do, also like feeding homeless, they go downtown and they, make a bunch of lunches and stuff like that. So there's, yeah, you can really do a lot of things and do good at the same time,
Yeah.
so it's a bonus.
Yeah, it's very effective. Like even when we do our Ronald McDonald House, like we're going to give meals to families in need and kids in need in the community, and it takes like 3-4 hours of your day to post something to show like I was here doing this, but you're also physically giving back to the community. Like that's a really cool way to tie in who you are in real estate because you're someone who cares about the community, the people that you're doing real estate with. You're not just a pushy realtor trying to get your business. You're someone who actually cares and is a real person too. So and the last one about explore community things that you guys can talk about are just neighborhood highlights. Hi is supposed to be abbreviation for highlights, but anything going on in your community, in your neighborhood. Again, you are technically the expert in that area because that's where you are, as much as you won't confess that the area. So share what's going on in that neighborhood. If there was like if there is a neighborhood potluck, whatever it is, you could just promote that. It's something that people might not, isn't crazy to you. It's like, oh, it happens every year, or like, yeah, the pickleball tournament, whatever it is. But like people are gonna see that. They don't go to that tournament, only you do. So share that's happening in your neighborhood. Or be the first to create something, be the first to promote in your neighborhood. Hey, I'm gonna be doing this. Come by, my house to grab a free pie at Thanksgiving, whatever it is, like come do something at my house or in front of our house if you want to make it a little bit more social outside that invites people to your place in your direct neighborhood. There's a lot you can do there with your neighborhood. Those are your, people that you're around the most and can connect with the most because, you live with them. And then lastly, I have 3 pillars of, and I call it that's the 80% of content you're going to be posting. But their last pillar, like I call it the 20-ish% because the 20% of what you put out should have some personality of who you are and what you do outside of real estate. Everyone is a real estate agent, but not everyone identifies as being the real estate agent. And so you want to make sure people walk away with, they're a good real estate agent who I just know that they love going to that one band, that one concert that, we went to a long time ago, but it's cool because you guys relate over something not real estate because granted, you're not selling a real estate agent's house. They're probably, it depends, but you're probably selling someone's house who is not in real estate. And so what is something that you're connecting with them, with that you guys also enjoy doing outside of real estate? So, skiing, snowboarding, if you guys like doing outdoor winter activities, if you like shopping or thrifting or, that antique shopping, kind of deal, share with people that you like doing that. Great find here. Just doing something that's a little bit more, not as just listed, just sold post, but something that shows that you're doing something outside of just real estate. Because people want someone who's real. As much as it's real estate, you're still a real person. Art drawing, if you like doing art stuff, you can post something that you worked on. If you're ceramics or whatever it is, post your last mug that you made or whatever it is. That's cool, fun stuff people like to see, and they'll give it a like because it's not something that might just be always in a real estate agent's feed of the just listed, just sold, all that kind of stuff. Break it up a little bit. Outdoors, if you like doing anything outdoors, if you like music and concerts, there's a plethora of things you guys can do. I don't know what you guys specifically like, but those 2 pillars, explore and personal, those are things that are going to be very relatable to just you and your lifestyle and where you're at. So yeah, go ahead and fill out those things that relate to you. What do you enjoy doing outside of real estate? Why did you get into real estate? Great story of like what brought you here? What did you do before real estate? And what led you to making that change? What got you into the neighborhood you're at? Where did you grow up? Those are kinds of personal things that people would enjoy reading about and seeing that you're a real person doing real things. And I'm getting to know them. And I now want to use them because I see that they're a professional in my area who knows my neighborhood and they also love the same outdoor activities that I do. So we're gonna go on a hike next week and then we're gonna talk about real estate or whatever it is. So there's so many opportunities of these pillars to become what you want them to, but this is really just to help you guys understand where you're going with your content, because you could Google these ideas for days of like, what should I post on Instagram for a real estate agent? And then read like 3 articles that says 50 things to post and then just never post them because you're just overwhelmed with like what to post. And you're like, I don't know like how to make the content. I don't know what to say or whatever it is. So this is basically a template to help you figure out what makes sense for me and what is realistic. What am I actually going to talk about? And then making your content, like I always share that my role here is to help you guys as a resource for marketing stuff. If you guys need like just listed, just sold posts or postcards or flyers for your listing or your open house or a customized brochure, like something like that we can work with. So don't be scared to like reach out about, hey, I really want a post for like a definition of a word. And I'll give you a post if you want a definition. You just have to ask for one and then figure it out from there. But some of the stuff too, you guys can ask me and I'll show you how to do it, because it might be like too time consuming for me, but it's something that I can teach you guys how to do yourself. And then it's something that you'll feel way more comfortable doing on your own time and do a lot more of because you know how to do it yourself. Because a lot of people are brokers who are solo kind of get overwhelmed with the idea of creating your content, but there's a lot of resources out there too that help create your content for you. And I'm always someone here who can help you figure out how to do that too. So don't be shy in asking for help in that of how do I create this. But another side note of that too is a lot of these can become videos, and I know not everyone loves videos, but videos are so great and they're so engaging, and it doesn't matter if it's like stark dry information, you'll still get people to watch it if it has fun colors and the right words. So just be mindful of that. Is your videos will sell.
Got it.
And you don't have to have a graphic designer to make those. You need your face and words and content, you know, what you're gonna say to make those. So those are, I mean, I know it's tough when you're not familiar with it, but it's gonna be like the easiest way to make content. And a more easier way than having what you're gonna talk about and then having you and yourself and your phone do it. So you don't need a marketing coordinator to do that. So this is kind of just a challenge for you guys to figure out how you're gonna do that, but we're also gonna talk about ways to make that easy for you too. So are there any questions or things that you guys thought of that you wanted to share that were kind of cool to you?
I actually had a question, right? Like now the souls per month per week. Now I'm new, so I don't have that.
Mhm.
But can you share what the office has done and say, oh, my office there had, sold so many, is that okay or not?
Yeah, you can promote that. We're actually like, I'll show you each of those. I was like, you could do that. I mean, we have a board up there that shows like how many houses or transactions we've had for the whole month. So, hey, you can promote that sign of like, hey, great, I'm glad to be a part of an office that's producing a lot and
Yeah.
helping people, families and friends out. We've already 62 inches a month.
Like that with some more detail, right? 62 is just a number. But
Yeah.
like, is there a way that we can get some more detail and color around it and say, hey, this is, I'm part of an office, that this so much, these were the key, or some thing that then you can promote saying, that, yeah, you've not done it, but your office has, and that just maybe adds some credibility.
Yeah, and I, that's a good point is, I think everyone stresses out that I don't have that certain situation to make that content. But you have to think like, not everyone, even the top producers may not be selling a house every week. So get creative of like, that information and those properties are still out there to be shown to people. So take a video in front of that beautiful house that, has been sitting on the market, but it gives you content. Like it doesn't have to be your home that you're selling or buying, dealing with. It can be other properties, it can be other people's events, it could be other, other things that are not yours.
Yeah, John Scott has the templates right in my desk. So you got the monthly marketing updates for areas. You got Pierce County, you got Southeast King County, the East Side, Seattle. So it's got all those types of areas. If you're trying to concentrate on those, you absolutely should be sharing those every month. It's just,
Oh,
It's
no.
already done for you.
You can share somebody's listing if it's a beautiful home.
Right, yeah.
You can just share and say, look at this beautiful house that my office just listed or sold, or, so you
Yeah.
can always, it's just a simple share.
So actually a follow-up on that, right? Can you do that only for your office? Because over the weekend I went and saw a house in my neighborhood, for example.
You can do that for
You
any-
can, yep, as long as you don't try to reference it as it is your listing, when it's
Right.
not. That's the part
You
where
can
you
just say
really
great
gotta
home
be
in my-
careful.
in my
Neighborhood, and
Yep.
like, you can do a video and say, hey, I saw this home in my neighborhood or whatever.
Yep.
That's okay
Yeah.
to do.
Mhm.
Or do you need permission from the listing agent?
No,
Not for that, long as you are like
Just
following the
share,
rules.
Just say, look at this beautiful home. I don't think.
Yep.
it's-
and you, I mean, I don't think this is against the rules to be walking in your neighborhood, see the house and be like, this is a beautiful home, looks like, it's.
I mean, do the
This
show
much
and
or
go
this much,
see
if
it,
you,
right?
yeah, if you guys wanna see it, let me know. That's not,
That's okay.
yeah, because you're just a buyer to do that. Yeah.
Steal, borrow is okay, like taking somebody else's content and posting it as yours, as long as you give them credit,
Right.
it doesn't matter. Just repost it, so, and are you gonna talk about scheduling?
Yeah, the next section is talking about scheduling of like how you're gonna be using this content, so.
I won't see it.
Yeah, anything from Zoom, any questions or comments, like things that you guys thought of, on Zoom? Maybe. All right, well, yeah, with that, that's content pillars, and I'll print more out for you guys if you want more to brainstorm with, but this is just supposed to be helpful for you guys to jot it down, pen and paper. Sometimes, like, even to teach this class, I get stuck when I digitally start, so I always start pen and paper, what I'm gonna do, and then I put it digitally on the computer for everyone to see. So I think it's good to start out somewhere like this and then move on. So now we're gonna be talking about your marketing calendar, how to schedule your content. So it's basically just a practical way to put what your content is on one place. Pen and paper could be digital, but it just helps you visualize it and then stick to it and stay organized with what content you're creating. So, first thing is, and I didn't print them out, but I'll give them to you guys. I made these big blank marketing calendars, and the idea is that each month you'd be making notes about what you want each month on whatever topic it is, and I'll show you in the next slide what that shit looks like. But the idea is on your marketing calendars, you want to start vague and then get detailed. And by vague, I mean, go back to your topics that are on your content pillars and say, I want to do a market update every month. Every month, no matter what, I want a market update to happen. But then getting more detailed might look like, I want to do a market update about this area, and I want to talk about specifically this neighborhood and what has happened with the transactions in that neighborhood. So that might be the week of you making that content, you had that on your calendar for months that you're gonna do market update. But then the week that you take to, schedule out your marketing stuff, because every Monday, like, let's say every Monday you do marketing stuff for 2 hours in the morning. You're gonna say, well, I really want to hit on this neighborhood in, whatever it is, Bonnie Lake. I want to hit on that Tahale neighborhood of like what's been happening in that specific community, the transactions pending, sold, what to expect. If you guys want more information, please reach out to me. I'd love to show you any homes in that neighborhood or figure out a way to sell your home in X, Y, and Z. That's going from vague of I want to do a market update to brainstorming what makes sense for me in my content pillars to deliver that information and is more detailed and gives them something of value. And then with that, you're also going to figure out, is this going to be a post, like a picture and a comment and a caption, or is it going to be a video that I'm going to take time to figure out what I'm going to say and make it and then post it, which is actually less work to do if you're, if you don't have someone to make all those graphics, you can just make your video and post it again. And then a note on that too is your marketing calendar, like I said, it can be physical or digital. The idea is that you're writing down what you're going to post from your content pillars on your calendar throughout the whole year. And it's in one place. You're visualizing it, you're seeing it, it's on your wall, and you have kind of a general idea of what you're going to be doing for the whole year. And you have your goal. That's your goal, is to finish all your marketing stuff for that year and see where you're promoting yourself, and it also kind of gives you more ideas, even if you're not creative, it gives you ideas of what you can do, what more you can do. So this is like the example one that I had from our last class at the end of last year when me and Tony talked about your marketing calendar, how to schedule things. So this is an example of like, you might take stuff on your content pillars and plug them in throughout the whole year into different categories. So if you want to make sure you're doing a postcard every month or a mailer, let's say, with your 125 free ones here, then you could be saying, I want to do that every month, and I'm going to make it a topic of value to a certain neighborhood. So it might be the market updates. So if you see at the very bottom, it says letter campaign. So those are all market updates. But that might be to a specific neighborhood with specific information that you're going to be putting on there. But this helps you view, at least I'm doing something and I'm visualizing where it's going to go, and it's on there. And this can also, I mean, this class is about social media stuff, but this can also be your print media and your physical media. I don't know what to call it. Like your pop buys, your door hangers, your events, the things that you're actually actively in. That's you promoting yourself when you're physically there. So using those ideas to say, I might have my market update, but I want to do my pop buys in April. I want that to actually be hand delivered to the neighborhood that I've been farming to. It's like, hey, just want to stop by and give you kind of the rundown in the neighborhood. It's been this way, you know, whatever it is, make it personal, but say, hey, it was good to see you at last week's spring market in the neighborhood. I just wanted to deliver this to you. Make it personal, but also make it relevant, important to them. Why am I taking your letter and reading it? Is because I know you as a neighbor, and you're here standing at my door, and you have a piece of information that's valuable to me and that is relevant to me, and I've been getting it in the mail for the past 3 months. So there's just a small idea of what you can do by making your content and putting it on paper and then organizing every month what you're gonna be doing to stick you to it.
Did we record the marketing one?
We did, yeah.
So
So
you
it's on
guys
the-
can reference the marketing calendar class we did on YouTube. But just remember, two kind of key things is I always schedule it free time to be creative. This is the biggest common mistake that a lot of people do. I'm gonna work on marketing today for an hour, 2 hours. They quickly scribble down everything they wanna do, and then they start taking video. And then it's actually plan out your creative time. And then schedule on another day. I say I wanna shoot 5 videos. You can shoot 5 videos and have it look like 5 separate movies. If you have 5 different outfits, but schedule it all on one day. You'll see a lot of my videos they're currently in my office. But I just do it all in one session, and I just change my shirt and outfit.
Yeah.
And it's content for the whole other week. And then I have, on Tuesdays is when I actually do my content creation, what I wanna talk about, the areas I wanna hit. And now I'm gonna add in this year, now that I have more time with playing soccer, but neighborhood, this, that, everything else, a little bit more about my personal stuff, like she's saying. But definitely separate it out.
Mm-hmm.
Creative is creative. This is great, the content's a pillar that Kenny has, like, now you split them up, entertainment, explore. And again, look online, things that you like, you wanna do, it has to be yourself.
Yeah.
Cause it works and people remember you. Like Ramona's hat, like this weekend, I loved
I had
it,
fun.
but it was fun, I'm looking at her like, I would wanna work with her. Cause she's having fun, she has this big furry Russian hat, right? And it's so cool, but I see it and I'm like, I think that's hilarious. Things like that kind of capture people because you're showing people who you are, what you're about. It doesn't always have to be very structured. It can be very just fun. So just creative, schedule that, and then schedule when you're actually gonna do the execution of videos.
Mhm.
And like Kenny's saying, all that is just how you schedule it out.
Yeah,
But you don't wanna do postcards, do the creative, and then try to do the postcards on the same day.
same day. It's been way too
People-
stressful.
It's so stressful.
Yeah.
Did you
1
guys
hour for
email
this.
this, please?
Yeah, and
What's the
split it
duration
up.
of your videos? Like, how long are your videos?
And it depends on your schedule, just make it part of your daily routines. So everybody has daily routines, right? Some people do, I personally do an hour block on Tuesday. And I do my execution on
I
Fridays.
think when the video is executed, is it like a minute long videos, 5 minutes? Like, it's
1
short.
minute,
30 to 90 seconds, that'd be
30
good.
to 90 seconds, but optimally no longer than 1 minute is kind of
Yeah.
the sweet spot.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, that's,
People lose retention, either they're gonna look at your video for like less than 5 seconds. So you can go on your Instagram and look at the statistic. I started goofing around with that and I got pretty obsessed this weekend. But, you know, the first 5 seconds, usually they'll drop off. So that means you didn't capture them. So the first 5 seconds have to be something like very like explosive or funny, or just like having
the hook.
somebody with
Yep.
a hat that looks awesome. But that's funny, right? And immediately I'm like, if she had that content with it, I would have kept looking at
Right.
it, right? And I'm like, oh, what is she doing? But when the lead in is like slow, so I'm starting to work on that too. And it's a work in progress, right? Remember, the first videos or things or content you're gonna create are gonna suck.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna be your worst critic. It's gonna be horrible.
But it's new to everyone else.
But it's new to everybody else. But as you go along, it's easier and easier.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I'll say.
It's just like when you go to read a book, you either read the
Mm.
first 3 pages and you stop reading the book, or for me, I read the first paragraph and I stop reading the book. Or it is one of the best books I've read because it hooked me in and I read the whole thing and I realized it got me. And sometimes it happens with the book where you read it and you're like, wow, it really got me at the beginning, but terrible ending or something like that. But it's the idea is it captured you and it made you want to read it more. And that's just like your content, like they have to have things of value that are relevant to the people you're targeting, and like anyone, even if people that you may not know you're targeting, that still is relevant to them and is valuable to them and engages them. Because if you try to focus on a bunch of content like that's boring to people, then you're missing the mark of what your purpose is, and that's to get people to even look at your content, read your newsletters, look at your video. You're making all this stuff without actually taking that time to produce it. And that's where, yeah, people can rush into this marketing process of, I just want to get all this content out, but I didn't take time to think about what the content was going to be. And now I just have a bunch of stuff on there and people don't like it because it's just might be boring, or
The
it's,
length is important too.
it might be too long of a video, it's too stagnant or whatever it is. So you have to really schedule that. And I'm gonna actually share with you guys like the process that I go through personally for our office. What my goal is each week, because I don't do just social media scheduling, but it's a big part of like how I like to promote our office and people to work here. So I am gonna share that with you guys. So this last part I want to go through is your content grid, and this is the scheduling part of how you're going to be putting your content out there. So what is it? This is basically helps you plan out what content you're posting, where and when. Which is kind of how you get your content out, and also how you do any of your marketing is like, where am I going to be sending this letter and who's it going to be to? So we've established the platforms. You might need to establish your platforms you're using. You need to choose a content you're going to share. You're gonna need to schedule the content, whenever your user is most active, and then share it. And this is the share it part about the class title of One Piece going 5 places. Structuring it so that you're not making it so stressful on yourself to make all 3 new videos for the week, but making one video that's gonna go 5 different places or more throughout the week. So I'm gonna show you this. So this is what you have in front of you. So this is the content grid. It's showing you the platform. So personally, the platform I have right here is Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Those are the top 3 I recommend as real estate brokers, unless you have a TikTok and you want to share your videos there or do different kinds of things, or your LinkedIn, you're focusing more on your business to business aspects. That's totally fine too. These are just 3 examples of platforms to use. So the idea of this grid is to help you when you are scheduling out your social media and any of your marketing efforts, that you are organizing it to be distributed properly and not be so much content you can't handle it. So I'm just gonna start at the beginning of the week. So let's say I make a market update video and it's a 1-minute video about my neighborhood in Bonnie Lake, saying what's happening, the latest, and a call to action for them to call you if they want to see the home or if they are curious about what their house, their home value is, right? So I'm gonna make that video, and this might be, you guys, I'm not gonna tell you when to schedule out this time, but everyone's gonna have a time in their schedule that they need to put on their calendar with your, schedule. That makes sense to have that brainstorm time, to have that time you're gonna think, okay, I have my content pillars, I have what I want to post for a week. I need to take time to do that. I need to take time to figure out what it is gonna be that I'm gonna post. And that for me personally is about 2 hours. I think about what I'm gonna do on a Monday morning that I'm gonna post for that week. And for me, I'm a week ahead. So I look at next week. I'm gonna look at what next week's content's gonna be, because when you're the week of content and you're trying to figure out what I'm gonna do this week, you kind of get a little stressed. Like, what am I gonna get this week? I have to have it this week to be out there, or else it's just gonna be weeks and I don't post anything or share anything. So I advise being a week ahead, so that like today, I'm gonna be looking at next week's schedule for the week of our social content. So this Monday on your content grid, if you look at it, it's gonna say sneak peek of video. So this is assuming that I went and I scheduled out the content I was gonna post, and I have what the video is. I shoot the video in our video room and I have it ready to go. So now I'm going to, on Monday on Instagram, let's say, I'm gonna post a sneak peek of the video. And it might just be like 3 seconds long, or it might be a behind the scenes picture of you taking the video that I can totally post. And it's gonna be like, new video coming soon. That's Monday. So people are already like, oh, they have a video coming soon. And that's Monday on their Instagram, Facebook story. On Tuesday, you're gonna upload your full video to YouTube, because YouTube, people love YouTube Shorts. They love, it just goes through their feed. It's the most popular one right now. YouTube Shorts. It's like Instagram, TikTok, same kind of idea. You're gonna upload your video to YouTube. And then you're going to do the same thing to both your Facebook and Instagram. And I'm gonna show you personally how I would do that to make it easier for you guys. So I'm gonna upload my video. It's running on YouTube, and then I'm going to upload it to Facebook as well. So now I have the video on Facebook, and I'm gonna share it to my Facebook story saying, hey, just posted a new video, go check it out. So now my video is on YouTube, it's a sneak peek on Instagram, and it's on Facebook. And on Instagram that same day, I'm gonna create an Instagram link going to the YouTube video, because I want people to see it on YouTube, and I want people to see it on Facebook. So on Facebook, they're seeing it that day. On YouTube, if they're following my YouTube channel, they're gonna see it on my Instagram page to go see the video, right? Now, and I think on your paper it shows, let's see, can I grab one of these? Let's see. Yeah, on here, I changed it a little bit, but you might, on Instagram, on Wednesday, on these papers, you would reshare the videos a new post. So Tuesday and Monday, you did your sneak peek, you posted your video on Facebook and YouTube, and now you're taking your video to Instagram on Wednesday. So this is not on the digital one, but on Wednesday, you would reshare as the new video. So you posted the link on your story, but now it's going to your feed. So now people are seeing your video in your Instagram feed. Because I just saw it maybe the day before, or they saw a sneak peek of it on your Instagram story. So now I'm seeing the actual full video on your Instagram feed. Now skip to Friday. Now you have the video has been going for the last 2-3 days on different medias, all 3 of them. So now you're going to reshare on Facebook that video as a new post. Like, hey, make sure you checked out my video, because on Facebook, it doesn't keep a feed like your Instagram. You can share that video again, being like, hey, if you missed my video, make sure you check it out. And that one can be going to your YouTube link now. So people are going to see your YouTube. Oh, if you forgot, I have a YouTube channel that I regularly post to with information. So now it's not a Facebook video, it's a YouTube, it's going to your YouTube link, going to your YouTube channel now. So it's another way to say, hey, I have another place with great information where I store all my videos that give you tips and tricks on real estate. Go follow my page. So now on Friday, you're resharing that same video, but using your YouTube link, so people are going to see it on your YouTube channel. Draw them to somewhere you want them to see.
So it's really one video that you
This is the
play.
same video. This is the same market update I shot the previous week in the video room. So now this is Friday, and then Friday, I'm going to create an Instagram story. I'm going to take a video of myself saying, hey, just want to make sure you guys didn't miss. I just, posted the last recent update about this area. Make sure you go check it out. It's on my YouTube link below. That's a story with a link going to, to your YouTube channel again with your original video. And if they click on your Instagram account now, you have the video there. So they're going to see it in both places on that platform. And then Sunday, you're going to take a clip of your video. So there's a lot of apps that can do this now. And you can, do it yourself too, but just take a snippet of your video saying like, this is the best 15 seconds of my video, or the best 30 seconds of my minute-long video, like taking half of it or whatever it is, or statement, and posting that to your story. So you're taking your video and being like, when I talked about saying like, everyone in the market needs a place to go. So, don't be scared, buyers, because buyers, it might just be like a little snippet of something very impactful that you liked from your own video. Now you're sharing that on Sunday, and that can just be a small little video on your feed, both Facebook and Instagram. And someone who does that actually is like Nelia from our office. She'll have a long video, like a podcast, but she'll take just a snippet of the video of where she was saying something very impactful to her, and she thought would be very helpful for people to just, what are they taking away from the video? And so then that actually might spark interest in people watching the entire video. So now they're going to see, oh, they actually have the full video here. So I'm going to say, oh, full video here, click to view it all. Now I'm going back to that original video, either on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. You have it there, you've promoted it throughout the entire week. And that was just one video. And you have it a bunch of different places. And so this content grid is to help you figure out how you're taking one piece of content that you brainstormed a week ago, you took the video, and now you're putting it everywhere. And what I was going to show you guys today, and I want people on Zoom to see this too, is like how I personally do it for scheduling it out. Because a lot of you probably don't have the time and convenience to sit down and be a marketing coordinator like I am, and putting all those posts in the day of and figuring out all the captions and whatnot. So what I'm showing you today is what I would recommend for everyone who is solo and trying to schedule out their posts. Everyone might have a different method, and you guys can share it with me, like how you guys schedule out your social media. But this is what I do. So this is our Ket North page for the office, and we have a business page, and I recommend everyone having a business Facebook page, because if you're using a personal, you don't have these features, and you also can't gain followers and likes, which is a normal business page layout. And the other thing with that too is if you're just using your personal page, you don't have the ability to grow your audience by having a business page too. And the problem with not having that, this is just a side tangent, but the problem with not having a business page and a personal page is you keep all your personal stuff on your personal page too, and it can flood your real estate page with too much personal stuff, because Facebook was meant and created to do that, was to show what you're doing now and with family, friends, wherever you're at. But it's not the same where you can kind of disperse it in Instagram. It's gonna be very, whatever you just did kind of feed. So I advise making a separate account, like a business account under your name, you know, real estate group. And when you share your content to your business page on Facebook, you can then reshare it to your personal page. So everyone sees what you posted on your business page. But now you're getting two different audiences because you have your likes and followers on your business account, and then you have your friends on another account. So you're getting way more exposure on both sides. So side tangent, but that is very important when it comes to Facebook, and it's one of the most popular platforms. So
What do you call or brand your business page, right? Like just your name and
Mhm.
or like?
yeah, just put your name and then real estate agent on there, or real estate broker, whatever you would like it to be named as. So this is what I do as far as scheduling out my posts. So I use the Meta Business Suite. It's free when you have a business account. It'll open up the Meta Business Suite for you. I go to our planner. It's on the left-hand side here. And I schedule out our content. So I'm not going to show you this week because I haven't done it yet. But last week and the week before, you can see that I had some things to schedule out. So, or had some things that I reposted. So I'm gonna go back to, oh, no, not that. No, now it's blocking my view. But I wanted to show you that when you have your content grid ready, you can actually look at, okay, so Monday, I'm doing my sneak peek of my video. So I'm gonna prepare to do that on Monday. That's something I can't schedule. But what I can schedule is I can schedule out my video going on Facebook and Instagram on these 2 days. So I can click on the day that I want to schedule. Let me go back here and click Wednesday. Can everyone on Zoom see that? You think? Okay. I'm gonna say, okay, 10 a.m. Sure, that's the optimal time. It'll show me some active times. Maybe I'll do it 8 o'clock on Instagram. And then I click add video. So this is where I add my video. I upload my video, I type in my caption, and then I schedule it. It's all there. And then when I schedule it, what it will do is it will show me that I scheduled it on that Wednesday, just like it did on these other posts in prior weeks. So this is a great way to schedule out your content. You can do this for your stories. You can schedule a post, you can schedule your story, or you can create a reel. And then these other two, I don't really use a lot because I don't go live on Facebook from the PC. I would do that from your phone if you're doing Facebook or Instagram live. But you can schedule 3 of your main things that are on your content grid a couple days prior, a few days. You can actually do this weeks prior because I can do this for next week. I can schedule anything for next week or 3 weeks from now. I can schedule February 10th video that I planned out. I can do that because this platform allows you to schedule all those things out, and you can connect your Facebook to your Instagram account so that you can post to both places at the same time. Those are the only two you can connect from here. You can't do YouTube, so YouTube will be your own process of going to upload your video, which is super easy. If you need help, we can help you figure that out. But this is how I plan out my social media. And what I also wanted to show you was, okay, I need this to go away. How do I get that?
Right, the green.
This
Your
thing?
screen, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I want to show you, this is just one last thing. I want to show you this website, Asana. There's a lot of different things you can use, like monday.com. Later, there's a couple of different ones you can use to organize yourself. But what I use Asana for is I use it to schedule out my week of social media or promotional. So this is what I have. I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then I have what I'm going to post. I'm going to post a story here. I'm going to repost someone else's story here. I want to post a graphic this day. I want to post a video at the end of the week. Yeah, that's kind of the layout I have. And then what I do is I'll show you last week's or 2 weeks ago. I go through and I put in, like, this Thursday, I had a graphic that I wanted to post to Facebook and Instagram. I took my 2-hour slot on that Monday and I wrote out a caption using ChatGPT, and I modified it to what I wanted it to say, a little bit more personal with my hashtags. And I made a post for it. I made a graphic for it. And then I attach it to that day. And now when I go to schedule at my Meta Business Suite, I know Thursday, I'm gonna post this picture with this caption, and I just choose time it's gonna be at. And that's done. And so this is just a resource for you guys to look at and kind of consider when you're going through this process of making sure you have a rhythm, something that makes sense for you when you're scheduling out your social media. Yours may not look filled like this. You might have 5 tasks on here, but 5 is a lot better than 0. And having something that's just to look at, to keep you accountable to, and to write down and plan on, that's gonna be a lot more effective and probably successful if you actually have something that you planned out and are putting on your social media. So that's the process that I use. Is I sit down, I go through what I'm gonna make using my content pillars, seeing, okay, I wanna post Monday, or today I might say, okay, I wanna post for my content grid, market update from the Bonnie Lake, or whatever it is. And I want this one to be a video. That just might be like my note in here, is it might not be a graphic, but it's like, that's what I'm gonna be doing that day. So now Monday, I know I have that, and then I check my Asana that day and I say, okay, this is what I have for the week. And I know what I'm gonna post each day, because the week before I planned it out, I figured out the content I was gonna post, I figured out what I'm gonna share it on my content grid, and now it's all here for me to do. And then you get to check it off, because it's always accomplishing, checking off the task.
And that's
So-
through Asana?
Yeah, it's called Asana, it's free. You guys can make an account, set it up.
So to recap, you start pen to paper first,
Yeah, I always start pen to paper first, personally.
then you plan it out, then you use Asana to
Mhm.
also digitally do exactly what you planned out on your pen to paper.
Exactly.
Then you're using the Meta suite
To schedule
to
it out,
schedule,
my
and you're
content,
taking from Asana, you're just copying and pasting.
and
in
putting
there.
everything into here. I'm uploading it through the program. And then you can see your whole month, what you did, and that should align right with your marketing calendar of what you wanted to do. And I would advise as well, as you might have a year-long marketing calendar to look at, like this one that I showed you guys, like you might have something like this that shows you everything, but even having something like this, it might be helpful for you guys to have just February, like the month of February, to go through and write pen and paper what February is gonna be.
Yeah.
Because that's where you get into detail. You started big and then you went detailed with what you're gonna post, where it's gonna go, who it's gonna be about, what vendor you wanted to do a video with. Then that's more detailed, and that's the process of taking those hours in your time that you time blocked off for your marketing purposes to connect with those people that you're gonna do video with, find the neighborhood you wanna promote, find the open house that you're gonna, shoot a story at. You're gonna, it takes time to figure those things out, and you have to make time for it and look at the right resources to help you stay organized to accomplish it. So, that's kind of my advice as far as, planning out your social media goes, but,
I think most brokers make the mistake of, they say, oh, this week I'm doing
yeah,
these things for my social media.
yeah,
You're already behind. Like you
Yeah.
should have, like that was already, should have been planned and already made
mhm.
for that current week.
If someone asks you to list their house, you can't just say, okay, Wednesday we'll get it. And you just come out with nowhere with like no plan of how to do that. You have to have steps in place to figure out, I'm going to list live that Thursday. And all of that behind the scenes before that time takes time to do. And so, just like any of your social media, any of your marketing efforts are gonna take time, because I've seen it a lot, even here, like people putting out content because they're like, I'm so eager to get it out, but it's not good. It's just not of value, or it's just boring, or because you didn't think about it, you just had to get something out because you realized I didn't have anything. So really think about what does make sense for your audience, what's relevant, valuable for your target audience, and that starts with your pillars that form into your rhythm for your marketing calendar that can easily be translated to your content grid. So that you're not having to make 7,000 videos. You have one piece of content that can go, I don't even know, this is 8 places that you can promote that one video, that one post, that one event recap on 3 platforms. So this is just, I mean, it's not maybe the most easiest thing to just start off doing if it's your first time, but this is giving you resources to put pen and paper to then put digitally, you know, in your own marketing plan. So does anyone have any questions about anything specifically or comments you want to learn?
I like the orange.
You like the orange? Yeah, nice. I like orange
And
too.
just like, you know, what Eric was saying. It's just your business plan, think about your business plan, it's structured exactly the same way. In the business plan, we start wide goals. We start getting down to your daily activities. This is exactly the same thing. So within the daily activities, we always go, okay, marketing. And I feel marketing just gets pushed to the side.
Mhm,
Marketing is what actually gets you money,
mhm,
right? So once you structure the marketing plan is structured the same exact way. You start off big, what you're gonna do through the year for
Sure.
marketing. You're gonna go down to month, like Kenny says, to week, to daily,
mhm.
and then you put it on your schedule, on your calendar.
You
And
gotta,
then you'll have the whole plan for the year, as
Yeah.
opposed to what exactly Kenny is saying, like, you just start doing content and you're like, was it educational, was it this? And like, even in her pillars, which I think is great, is like, was it educational? Was the idea for entertaining? Like, I made the mistake of having, at first, it was just all entertainment.
Hmm.
Like me funny, doing funny stuff. Well, then people don't take you seriously for
Right.
what you do. Then flip flopped it. I did all educational. And people were like, well, you have no personality. So it's having that nice mix of, and I love how she put it, educational, entertainment, exploratory, and personal, right? Everybody that wants to see all the site. Because remember, it's the age-old adage. You buy from who you like,
mhm,
who you relate to. You're not trying to reach out to everybody. You're
Yeah.
trying to reach out to people that like you and will do business with you because you're like them.
yeah, this
The
is,
audience I reach out to,
Yeah.
Eric's audience is different from my audience. And some of them intermixes, but
Hmm.
some of it is like completely opposite.
Yeah.
Right? So think about your audience too.
yeah, and this is all gonna be personal to you. I mean, this is just, I'm just a resource and this is just an idea of what you could do. Do I think it's the best idea? Maybe, I don't know. I think it's pretty good. It's worked for me. But this is, yeah, like Tony said, it's for people to like, know, and trust you, to use you. And that's what you're selling is, you're selling yourself, but you're also like sharing yourself with others, like who you are, what you do. Because it does come back down to your business plan of why you're in real estate and, making that known. And I know social media kind of gets a bad rap sometimes for being just like too much or people post boring things, but yeah, this is to help you figure out what to create and how to schedule it in a comfortable way for you guys, so. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah,
Makenna, thank you so much. This was very helpful. And we'll get the Zoom people, you're gonna send out the, what you,
yes,
perfect.
Yeah.
I really
those will be
appreciate it.
contact colors. We'll have them printed in-house too, if you want to stop by the office, you know, you Zoom people,
And
we'll have-
then any questions that we have as we're trying to do this, we can contact you and just kind of get some guidance.
Yeah. Yeah, if you need some help, especially with like using Asana, like if you want to have a platform to use that's new to you, please reach out. I'll make time to sit down and help you guys out with that. So, of
Great, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
course, yeah. Thank you guys.
Stuff.
Yeah,
Good
this
luck.
was great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah. That your first class?
I practiced.
Yeah, it was very, very good.
Thank you.
One last chat. This was great.
Thanks, Tracy.
All right, bye you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Don't miss tomorrow's class. We got Chase Pennington. You heard Tom Ferry talk about how to utilize tools to Geo Farm to
Mhm.
look for exactly the right, customers you're looking for. Access Home Tools, you can do that. So please show up tomorrow.